starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. The big story right away, Kevin Garnett for the first time this year out of the Celtics starting lineup with Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen, Brian Scalabrine in Garnett's place, Paul Pierce, and Kendrick Perkins, Mike Tirico, Hubie Brown. Garnett, abdominal strain, not playing. Hubie, the impact for Boston.
Right, first of all, it's going to challenge the defensive rebounding for Boston. I expect Rajon Rondo to have a good game, stepping up with Allen and Pierce.
Meantime, the Orlando starters are introduced uniquely by their all-star starter, Dwight Howard.
I respect Shaquille O'Neal. I'm going to do the lineups for my team and Shaquille O'Neal. Y'all gonna get me in trouble.
Hello, this is Shaquille O'Neal from the Miami Heat. Okay, starting for the Orlando Magic, first you have Carlos Hammerhead Arroyo. You know him, number 30. Then you have Maurice Evans, Turkoglu, Hito Turkoglu. Then you have Rashad Lewis. And then starting at center, Dwight Howard. My man. Can you dig it?
Very good. Very good. Get me beat up. Very good.
Well, I don't think Shaq will be up. We got your back, Dwight, right? Well, Dwight, the all-star starter in the place, really, of Shaquille O'Neal, has been the starting center, whether west or east, for many years. But the big story is the all-star starter not in the lineup this afternoon, Kevin Garnett. For more on that, the third member of our team, here's Lisa Salters.
Well, Mike, I spoke to Doc Rivers a few minutes ago, and he said that it was his decision to have Kevin Garnett sit out today. And he said because of that abdominal strain, he said Garnett certainly wasn't happy about it, but Rivers said that he just wasn't moving very well. He said it's an important muscle. It's still very sore. It's a long season. Just not worth it for him to, at this point, push it. I asked Rivers, how did Garnett take that news? And he said, obviously, he didn't take it very well, and that's why he's not out here right now. He's still back in the locker room, not feeling very good about it. Mike?
Okay, Lisa, Garnett, who's missed only, Bill Walton alluded to it in the pregame, Hubie, one of the most durable players in the league.
Absolutely.
He's only missed 15 games in 8 years, 25 games in his career. So Kevin Garnett answers the bell most every day at night.
But you're going to miss the 20 points, the 10 rebounds, the shot blocking, but most important, the anchor behind your defense, which is number one in the NBA.
You see Joe DeRosa and Davy Jones, two 19-year officials in the NBA working the game, along with Pat Frere, and David Jones will throw it up here in the center circle to get us going. The Orlando Magic 27-18, leading the Southeast Division of the NBA. As we mentioned, the Celtics 34-7. This is kind of the way a lot of us remember weekends watching the NBA on network TV. The Celtics are the best team in the league, and they start off your Sunday of watching a doubleheader with the Cavaliers and Lakers to follow. We're glad you're with us for NBA Sunday on ABC. Dwight Howard and Kendrick Perkins will go at it, and we're underway here in Orlando. The Magic lost in an ESPN game we had on Friday in Detroit. They were awful in the first quarter, came back to make it cosmetically close, but they dropped an 8-point game.
Well, when watching Orlando, remember, they are a major three-point shooting team. They're second in the league with 25 attempts a game.
Their big injury is Jameer Nelson, the starting point guard for most of the last couple of seasons. He's out, so Carlos Arroyo runs the show. Their two-guard, Maurice Evans, came over from the Lakers. He missed the shot. And here comes Paul Pierce back the other way for the Celtics. He'll take a quick three. Off the mark, and the rebound for Dwight Howard, who leads the NBA at just under 15 rebounds a game.
Big matchup today will be Ray Allen on Turkoglu or Paul Pierce. Can they keep him out of the lane off the dribble and then watch the kickouts to the corners for the three-point shots?
You saw all the attention to Howard, the all-star starter, and the Celtics come back the other way. Brian Scalabrine entering the starting lineup, 29-year-old, in the place of Garnett. Number 44, the redhead Celtic. Rajon Rondo, the point guard out of Kentucky, right at Howard. The weak side rebound for Kendrick Perkins, who will come to the line for a three-point play. And you can tell just by listening that the Celtics are back because they have a lot of fans every road game they play, and a bunch of green here in Orlando as Stan Van Gundy coaches the Magic today.
Those 19 finals and 16 championships have something to do with that, or what?
Return from the woodwork, right? Hubie, Kendrick Perkins, he's had a week. 21 against Minnesota on Friday to back up a career-high 24 at the Knicks on Martin Luther King Day on Monday.
Mike, he's moving extremely well without the ball. He's creating passing lanes. Then if you shoot and miss, he's on the offensive glass. He knows his job.
Hedo Turkoglu's had an outstanding season, one of the best of his career from Turkey. He's the man who gave it to Dwight Howard. He continues to try to expand his game farther away from the basket, and that's the next step in his development. Pierce, Arroyo, and Paul Pierce. Look, one thing, if you miss Garnett, the nice part is you got guys who are not afraid to shoot the ball.
Come on. Well, Paul Pierce can carry the stick.
Yes.
We know that he will be extremely difficult for anyone off the dribble or in a post-up situation. He is excellent from the foul line down, and you can see he's coming out. He's looking for his shot. He knows that no matter what the matchup is here, in transition, if a guard picks him up, or even in a half-court set, there is no one here who can stop him.
Kendrick Perkins picked up the first personal foul of the day, and Rashard Lewis will come to the line for Orlando. He was one of the big free agency players out there and ended up being a sign and trade deal as Lewis left Seattle, where he spent the first 9 years of his career, signing a 6-year, $118 million deal here in Orlando. As with Garnett, who we're not seeing here this afternoon, and Dwight Howard, right out of high school to the NBA, and Lewis has had a very productive career. He gets to see his old Seattle teammate Ray Allen in the lineup today.
Nice pass.
Rajon Rondo lost it. Pierce hounded by Evans and Turkoglu. Kicks it to Scalabrine. The three by Bryan missed, and Howard on the clock.
Now, Scalabrine is starting in there. Some people might say, why not Glenn Davis? Why not James Posey? But he's a three-point threat, and he can match up and play any of the forwards off the dribble.
Nice take by Howard. Puts his first field goal up to go with a couple of rebounds in our first 2.5. Rondo creating. Pierce bails him out. It goes right into Lewis's body for 2.
See, I expect Rajon Rondo to have a big game. In the 2 previous meetings, he's able to get into the paint without any trouble, and then he can finish.
Lewis, who takes as many threes as anyone in the NBA, wanted a foul on Scalabrine. He said, wait a minute, I take as many as anybody in the league. Yeah, I'm not missing like that.
Well, he has a good point. You know, he went right at Pat Frayer and says, listen, he caught me right on the hand.
So the Celtics come back the other way, and you may have heard Hubie and I say Rajon Rondo. You've heard Rajon Rondo a lot, but the correct pronunciation we asked him last night is Rajon, like R-Y. Going to go the other way here. Contact between Rondo and Arroyo, and Carlos, the point guard for the Magic, slow to get up, but it's a Rondo foul.
Now we can see in the early going here, you know, we haven't even played 3 minutes. Rondo has been in the paint on 3 occasions. He can get there at will tonight. The main thing for him is he's got to make the correct decision. Do I take the ball to the rim and finish, or do I take it and draw the double team and then make the pass in traffic?
So I'm getting instruction from Doc Rivers. 13 years of playing guard in the league before his coaching stints. Here in Orlando first, there's Perkins picking up his second foul as he got lulled to sleep by the shot fake from Lewis.
Now, the defense for the Boston Celtics is outstanding. They're number 1 in differential. They're winning games by over 11 points a game. Plus, they are first in field goal percentage against and first in three-point percentage against. So they will come at you. You can count on the rotations.
You heard the guys talk about it in the studio, those rankings of first in those 5 significant categories in point differential. Boston outscoring their opponents. Now, that was the second foul on Perkins. He comes out, and Leon Poe, the second-year player out of Cal, comes in. Turkoglu hits the 3. This is a perimeter-oriented Orlando team that has now tied the game at 7. But, Coach, there's no Garnett, and now your other starting big Perkins has 2 fouls. They'd be really tough against Dwight Howard.
Yes, you have to look at this and say, that's why we made it the point at the top. The defensive rebounding is going to be big as we move through the 48 minutes. Can they take care of their own rebound?
Ray Allen for 3. Man has made the second most threes in the history of the league. Only Reggie Miller's made more. Has struggled a little bit with his shooting percentage relative to his normal success. Rondo's quick hands knocked it away from Turkoglu, but Hedo stayed with it. What a season he's having.
Yes, and if you have not seen him play this year, he's right up there. The points are shade under 20 a game, but the assists, and also he's rebounding much better. I like his game. He has more freedom off the dribble, Mike. So if you come in and double team him, he'll make the extra pass.
First round pick out of Sacramento, 3 years there, starring here with Orlando in 08.
What's up with you? How little Jane and them? Everybody good? Baby sick. Baby sick? Which one? Your twin? What they got, a little flu bug? Ear infection? What? They okay though? Yeah, they be all right. That cold weather up there, man.
Little interaction between Keon Dooling, who's wearing a wireless mic. We'll see him off the Orlando bench with Eddie House, who will come in for Boston later on. They were teammates with the Clippers in 2003, 2004. Out of the timeout, Boston turns it over, and it will go back the other way with Orlando leading by 2.
Now, Mike, in the early going, Boston, they can get any shot that they want. And you also know that they can come off the dribble. Right now, they're overpassing. Just don't make the difficult pass because things are, keep it going. One more bounce, you're going to get a good look.
Ray Allen able to save as Arroyo from Puerto Rico lost his dribble, and Allen joins the play. That's going to go the other way. An offensive foul on Ray. His first.
Yeah, Ray Allen is stunned that was called. I thought that, you know, Arroyo really gambles. Now just watch. He puts on the brakes and he gets the front. But you know what happened? That left hand went out right in the number of the shirt of Arroyo.
So Orlando with it. It's a Magic team that's it's to Howard and Rondo. And nice to have your point guard can goaltend it, but it's goaltending and 2 for Howard.
It's always good to try for the goal to get the shot block, except that ball was short.
Yes.
You know, and I'm surprised that he actually went up to try to get it.
Dwight Howard, the shot blocker, has the point guard from Boston try to take one away. 7 in a row for Orlando. Leon Poe able to get the putback for 2. Poe in his second year was drafted in the second round, 49th overall pick by Denver a few years ago. He played 3 years at Cal Berkeley. Arroyo. This fires, and Pierce on the glass. Paul Pierce busy in the early going with 4 points and 3 boards. Leaving it for Poe. For Howard, his 3rd board. On the run, Lewis. Scalabrine got in the way. Howard will come to the line, which is a very common phrase. Actually, I'd like $1 every time I say Howard's going to go to the line tonight.
Well, we know that he leads the league at 11.9 attempts. It is a push in the back. You're going to see it right there. We know that the pressure is on, whether it's Scalabrine or Powell, anytime that they pick Howard up in the painted area. Right now, I'm kind of surprised that anytime they go into Howard and he picks the ball out to the perimeter, you must go right back in because he has such a mismatch here this evening.
He's going to get one more. We talked about his frequency at the line leading the league. Look at this perspective. The last 40 years, so you're kind of post the Wilt Chamberlain era. Shaquille O'Neal in 01, Adrian Dantley in 1984, and then Howard thus far this year. Number of times they get to the free throw line. Those are the 3 best in the last 40 years of the NBA. And Hubie, if he can become a little bit better free throw shooter, he's at 60%. What a difference it'll make for his scoring performance.
Well, you know, you look at that and you say, hey, what about the old days? Well, Wilt Chamberlain has the record over 11 a game, and then Bob Pettit was second. And so, you know, 2 people who played in the 50s and in the 60s, these 2 guys were at the line also. A little bit more and more consistent sometimes than the players that we just had up on that marker.
Turkoglu picks up the foul. It's Boston ball. Lisa Salters can add to Howard's free throw ability.
That's right, Mike. I was talking to him before the game. He was really disappointed with his free throw shooting last season. He said a couple weeks after last season ended, he started shooting 2 to 3 hours worth of free throws every day. He says now sometimes he'll make 60 in a row in practice. That's why he can't really understand why he tightens up so when he gets to game time.
Free and clear on the boards. At least that's a half dozen here in the first 6 minutes. All-star starter in the East. Dwight Howard trying to go through Leon Poe, and Poe draws the offensive foul.
Well, the double team was coming.
The player of the month in the NBA November and December picks up his first foul. But Dwight Howard has 6 points and 6 boards in the opening 6 minutes.
I'm Samira from Dirty Sexy Money. Thanks for watching ABC.
Home of the NBA Finals.
NBA Sunday on ABC. Brought to you by E-Trade and Vantage Point. In theaters February 22nd. Rated PG-13.
Back here in Orlando, the Magic leading by 4, and the big figure down here for the Magic is all-star starter Dwight Howard. We talked to him about that honor as voted by the fans and announced on Thursday.
remember in high school looking at the All-Star game with my family, and my dad was saying, pointing at the screens like, "You're gonna be there one day, and you're gonna be starting." And that just, it stuck with me, and it made me want to just keep fighting and keep going till I made it to that moment.
Howard, one of the 5 starters in the East, Dwayne Wade and Jason Kidd voted as the guards. Howard and Kevin Garnett, who led the entire league in all-star individual votes, and of course LeBron James. Pretty impressive crew for the East. Timeout. Donald Foyle is coming to replace Howard on the defensive end, and Leon Poe gets his second field goal, and Orlando's lead is 2.
See, Poe is stepping right into Perkins' job, and that is, the double teams will come every time on Pierce and Ray Allen. So just move and create a passing lane, and you're going to get a layup.
Rashard Lewis shooting over Brian Scalabrine. Knocks that one down. Lewis averaging 18.5 per game. Scored over 20 per game the past 3 years as a member of the Seattle Sonics.
He was a proven scorer, and we know right now this guy with the basketball, if he can get his total game together here in the second half, shoot a higher percentage, it's really going to be difficult to play anyone without double teaming.
Only 4 to shoot. Rondo knew it, and Rajon gets 2. Second year out of Kentucky, the Suns took him at the back third of the first round, 21st overall pick last year.
Well, everyone said that they knew that he could defend, and that's true. Does an excellent job. But his offensive quickness and his ability to score the basketball has been a pleasant surprise.
Turkoglu, a very tough 2, and the rebound for Poe.
No need to force shots here. All right? We know Boston is an outstanding defensive team. The rotations here, just have patience.
Allen flat on the 3, so Ray Allen has missed his first 3 shots here today. And Turkoglu brings it back for Sacramento, for Orlando. Turkoglu's old team. Evans inside. And back comes Rondo.
Mike, this young guy is blessed with a lot of talent. The big thing with him is once he breaks that foul line is to make the correct decision. Sound easy, difficult to do at this level because of the size of the front court players.
Well, that's a big position question for the Celtics. When healthy, will Rondo be the guy that you want running the point? Good anticipation by Pierce. Put his body in front of Turkoglu, and Paul Pierce has his 3rd field goal. He has 6 of the Boston 17.
Yeah, I like Paul Pierce's defensive game. Yeah, he's playing much better along with Ray Allen, man-to-man, but then in the help situation. He's excellent away from the basketball, and he's always up in there in steals in the top 10.
Donald Foyle comes across the lane. The veteran missed it, and Poe gets the rebound. Foyle picked up from Golden State, now in his 11th year in the NBA. Allen! I can't hit a shot, so I'm going to get myself going. And Ray Allen shows that those legs still work just fine at age 32.
Oh, you can see, if I'm coaching Orlando, I'm really upset because the Celtics are blowing right by our perimeter defensive people, getting into the paint with ease.
Orlando's defense has been an issue, and it's been the only issue addressed in practice as Turkoglu scores. The last 2.5 weeks, Stan Van Gundy really hasn't worked on any offense. It's been all defense and fundamentals. A place where this team has to tighten up.
That's right, and they must accept the challenge because Friday night in Detroit, we did the game. The defense was absolutely not there for 3.5 quarters.
Foyle blocked Rondo, but Poe once again cleaning up, and Leon Poe, whose season high is 10 points, getting the opportunity to play because of the injury to Kevin Garnett, has come in with 6 points and 5 rebounds in 7 minutes of action.
Well, if this keeps up, Mike, if the perimeter people continue to get by, his man must come in, help out on the double team or pick up, so consequently he's open.
Lewis rolled it to Arroyo, and a travel is called. I thought Rondo hit it.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. That was a bad call. That was a loose ball and should not have been a turnover.
It'll be Boston ball when we come back out of this timeout. Boston without Kevin Garnett because of an abdominal muscle that he strained on Friday. So more of Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen's going to try to get rolling with a throwdown at Rashard Lewis. Yeah, that'll bring Dave Posey up. Go get him. Sweet Ray. Some talk about Boston's big three players as the Boston Three Party, but it goes to their pro sports franchises. Sans the Bruins right now. Of course, the Red Sox winning the World Series in the last 7 games of the playoffs in Major League Baseball. The Patriots, of course, undefeated on their way as we speak to Arizona, and the Celtics with the best start in the NBA at 34-7 combined. Look what those teams have done since the Red Sox started that playoff roll. 59-7 for Francona, Belichick, and Rivers teams, and the Celtics 34-7 start ties the best in franchise history. They did it in 85, 73, and 65 as well. Poe inside, loses the handle. Pierce gets it back and puts it in for 2. So Paul Pierce continuing. He'll be in 85. The Celtics, the last time they did this, when you're setting Boston Celtics history, that's saying something. Now, it's not like Charlotte's best first half ever. It's been around for a few years. This is the flagship franchise of the league in so many ways, and what this team has accomplished in the first half is extraordinary.
Well, when you look at what they did in the past, I mean, 31 Hall of Famers, only 31. And then they have 21 retired numbers. So we know that there are some people up there who put up outstanding numbers. And then most of all, they always played as a team. They played a fast break, an exciting brand of basketball.
The too tall toss from Rondo. Turnover here from Boston. QB, there it is. 16 NBA championships. Last one coming 22 years ago. 8 straight. The stretch of 11 in 13 years. And 31 players in the Hall of Fame. 21 numbers retired in the rafters of the old and now the new Garden in Boston. A franchise along with the Lakers for so many years, where the NBA has been really all about the tent poles of the league, if you will, the guys who keep the tent up for the NBA for so many years, and that's why in so many ways it's great to see the Celtics back near the top of the league. James Posey back in. He's missed 3 games with a sprained finger. Came from Miami, where he was part of the Heat championship. Leon Poe can't convert. He got his own rebound. And Pierce comes inside and travels.
Now, in the early going, we're looking at the Celtics without their main defender in Kevin Garnett. We're talking about a shot blocker, and then also he can play a center or a power forward for you. And then the fact that he's great on rotations. Now, in the early going here, we're seeing them without their mainstay, and yet their half-court defense has been pretty strong. You are seeing very few layups for Orlando, mostly pull-up jump shots.
Keith Bogan's in the game for Orlando. Drops it to Foyle. Not the most polished. A bit about defense and rebounding during his career. Gets that one to make it a 4-point game here at the end of the quarter with the shot clock off. Turkoglu recovers on Pierce. Arroyo's hands help knock it away. And Pierce cannot get the shot off. The buzzer never went off, I don't believe. Boy, if not, it was very low and hard to hear. But that's the end of the first quarter. Good first quarter for Dwight Howard. 6.6 rebounds. Paul Pierce leading Boston with 8. Without Kevin Garnett, the Celtics with the best record in the league lead by 4 on NBA Sunday on ABC.
You told us last night that your offense runs best when it's going through Kevin Garnett. With him out, what adjustments have you had to make?
Well, we told him we still want to play in the out. It just won't be a post pass. It'll be by the dribble. We have to attack the paint. What I don't want us doing is settling for jump shots all night. If we can get the ball in the paint and then the ball comes out, those jumpers are fine.
Now, he's your best defender. Who do you need to really set the defensive tone with him out?
The entire team. It really do. It starts with the point guard, but it's going to be all of us.
Now, you told me it was tough for you to tell Kevin he had to sit out. He still hasn't come out of the locker room.
He's pouting, but that's fine. That's good. I mean, as I said before, I'd rather have a guy that you have to talk out of playing than you have to talk into playing.
Thanks a lot, Doc. Appreciate it.
Lisa Salters, thank you, and thank you to Doc Rivers, the NBA coaches, doing those interviews after the first and third quarter. Hopefully we'll hear from Orlando's Stan Van Gundy after the third. Boston leads here by 4. Tony Allen knocks it down for 2. Tony Allen had a devastating knee injury last year, has come back and hits that field goal on the assist from Eddie House.
Now, for all of you people who are following this closely, that is the Celtics' first field goal outside of the paint. They had 11 scores in the painted area. So the game plan going extremely well.
Keon Dooling is coming for the Magic to join Keith Bogans in the backcourt. Rashard Lewis with the miss, but it fell in anyway. It was going to clank off, so he gets the hoop. It's a 25-21 ball game.
when you play against good half-court defensive teams that really rotate quickly like the Celtics do, it takes a while to get accustomed to that. Then you must make your adjustments.
Look at Leon Poe. What a quarter plus he's had, and the foul is called inside on Lewis. Coach, back to Doc Rivers for a second. We mentioned he was here in Orlando for 4+ years, 3 times to the playoffs. Doc got that nickname from Rick Majerus in the Marquette days. He wore a Dr. J shirt to Marquette basketball camp. A Chicago kid is Doc, Proviso East High School, and he had a chance to go back home last night because he still maintains a residence down here in Orlando from his time with the Magic. And then after that, after leaving Orlando, a tough start to the season 4 years ago, 2004, Doc ended up working with us at ABC, covered the NBA Finals, and now to Boston, where he took them to the playoffs, and now is managing this team this year. Stan Van Gundy on the opposite side. Stan was coaching in Miami. Pat Riley came back in, took over the Heat, took them to a championship. Stan took about 1 3/4 years off, resurfacing here in Orlando after a couple of different options were available during the job-seeking period. Matter of fact, he ended up being out in Sacramento about the Kings head coaching opening. Reggie Theus has that job, and Stan signed his contract and faxed it from a Kinko's in Sacramento to Orlando. Remember, Billy Donovan took this job from Florida for a day, and then had a change of heart and went back. Dueling, looking for the foul, doesn't get it, back from the Celtics. And Eddie House at 2.
And Eddie House and James Posey come in the game. Anytime they're behind that three-point line, they are outstanding catch-and-shoot players. They do not need to dribble to take that long shot.
Boston extends the lead to 7, its largest of the afternoon. Nice speed from Dwight Howard to the cutting Maurice Evans, an undrafted player out of Texas, 5th year in the league.
Now, that was by design, and it's about time that they start looking for Howard when he's out on the floor. When he gets the basketball, you know the double team is coming quickly, but then the movement, the offensive movement from the corners to the basket, you can get that layup on the other side of the lane.
Ray Allen leaves for Posey. Good leap by Evans to keep it alive and allow Dooley to take it back. Keon was a Magic first-round pick in 2000. Went to the Clippers right away, but has returned here to Orlando. Good feed inside to Howard. At 6 points in the first 6 minutes. Set on the bench the rest of the first quarter.
Well, Mike, Dwight Howard has such an advantage in this game. He just cannot settle by going away from the rim.
The left-hand shot block comes right out to Tony Allen with 10 to shoot. They travel. So quick off his feet here.
Yeah, he gets you 3 blocks a game. You see, he's coming from the opposite side. That was not his man. He will come and help, but it will open up the offensive rebounding for the Celtics. Now, we know that Poe already has 4. The Celtics have 6, so they're doing an excellent job anytime they miss a shot. Good
Lewis
fake.
got Posey to commit and got 2.
That was a beautiful fake. James knows that when you close a guy out, you close him out, but you do not allow him to take you off the dribble.
Lewis has received some criticism here because his numbers are just a little bit under what his numbers were in Seattle, and people say, wait, we're spending $100+ million in 6 years as a franchise. Eddie House missed the 3, or the 2, I should say. Oh, nice job to come back, and Allen ahead of the field. Ray has scored on 2 dunks.
The Celtics have an advantage. You know that they're an excellent defensive team, and you know that the guards do not handle the ball that well for Orlando. So that's why you're seeing sporadic trapping, and then also trap the pick and rolls and force them to make the passes.
Posey's going to pick up a foul, impeding the path of Dwight Howard, and we have a timeout. Rashard Lewis used to play with Ray Allen. They've scored the last 2 field goals. Celtics lead by 5.
What's good? I'm Stuart Scott with the Sports Center right now, sponsored by Chase. Coming up after the Celtics and Magic on ABC, the top 2 scorers in the NBA go head-to-head. It's LeBron at Kobe as the Cavs visit the Lakers. And in snowy New England, Tom Brady without the protective boot joined teammates at a rally before leaving for Super Bowl 42 in Phoenix. Brady is expected to be ready for the game a week from today. Now let's go back to Mike Tirico and Hubie Brown in Orlando, guys.
Okay, Stuart, thank you. We'll see you out there. The Super Bowl coverage over on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News, and radio throughout this coming week. Here in Orlando, the Celtics lead by 5. We mentioned Rashard Lewis and Ray Allen, former teammates from their days in Seattle, playing 4+ seasons together with the Sonics. Two electrifying scorers, complemented each other quite well. Sonics in 05 were able to win 52 games, the division, and get to the playoffs, and there are their numbers together. But both moving on in separate trades during this right around NBA draft time in the summer. And now here Seattle left to rebuild. They have the second poorest record in the league. They've lost 13 in a row. It's hard to replace guys like Ray Allen and Rashard Lewis.
Absolutely, because you're dealing with so many points, almost 50 points a night out of these two players. Now you have to remember, Ray Allen is playing with a right ankle that he tweaked, and then also Rashard Lewis is not getting a lot of opportunities on the post because of Dwight Howard, and that's where he would, anytime that he's at that small forward position, take advantage of you.
Good point. Good point. Maurice Evans with the hoop makes it a 3-point game. Of course, Allen, and there's Howard with another block. You are seeing, if you have not had the chance to see Dwight Howard or the Magic play this year, a lot of the skills that have made him an all-star starter.
Yeah, he got that on the way up.
Kendrick Perkins in the game from Boston with James Posey, Ray Allen, Eddie House, and Tony Allen. And House, who has bounced around, can make some shots. Good with Phoenix a couple of years ago, off the mark. Another rebound for Howard. He's got 7 boards, 6 points, and 2 blocks. Turkoglu, no. Chased down by Bogans. Turkoglu going strong, and a blocking foul is called on the drive as Posey slid under.
I like this part of his game. Yeah, Turkoglu is really attacking the rim. He's getting to the foul line quite a bit, and also he's been there a number of times. 10 attempts a game. Now he's feeling confident, and he knows that he can attack off the dribble without the coaching staff getting all upset. And then what that opens up for him is he's an excellent three-point shooter.
We saw it at times in Sacramento really blossoming here. NBA TV tomorrow, San Antonio. Boy, New Orleans beat them bad last night, taking on Utah. Coverage begins at 9. TNT's Thursday doubleheader, Dallas and the Celtics, and San Antonio against Phoenix in the Super Bowl city. And on ABC on Super Bowl Sunday, great way to get ready for the game, the Dallas Mavericks in Detroit to take on the Pistons. The Pistons joining Boston and Orlando as the division leaders in the Eastern Conference as we hit the halfway point of the season. Celtics cruising along at 34-7 out of the gate. Detroit 31-13. And this Orlando club 27 wins in their first 45 games. Posey for 3. Turkoglu got slapped in the face by Posey. He's going to pick up the foul.
Yeah, Posey was looking for a deflection there. Now, James has missed a few games here recently due to a jammed finger on his shooting hand.
And he's picked up 3 fouls in 7 minutes.
Well, Doc, you know, he hasn't been in action. You can see he was going swiping, trying to get the ball. Unfortunately, Turkoglu was going head down to pick up that ball off the floor.
So Posey back to the bench. And Southern Cal product, Brian Scalabrine, checks in to guard Turkoglu. Left free for 3. Rebound put back by Maurice Evans. You know, the guard position on this team is not one of the stronger sets of guards in the league. Stan Van Gundy went to Maurice Evans here as a starter in the backcourt. He's done a nice job on defense and sprinkling in some offense.
Well, yeah, he can shoot the 3. He's a good athlete. He's a better defender, and then they can bring Bogans off the bench.
Perkins up over Howard. Dwight ingesting another rebound. Boy, he's way above the rim to get that one.
Now, from now to the end of the game, the big thing is, can Orlando keep the Celtics off the offensive boards? They already have 7.
Howard missed it. Perkins tipped. Bogans was waiting.
Well, you got a mismatch here. That's a good call by Dooley. He can get by Scalabrine.
Goodbye.
Yes, indeed.
I walked in a few minutes ago before the game started with Keon Dooling's dad, who lives in Fort Lauderdale. He said, "This is just great. Imagine here's your son playing in the NBA, and I get to come drive a few hours, see him in person on a good team." An Orlando team that has scored the last 7 and brings them to their feet here at the Amway Arena. Keon Dooling out of Missouri, putting the Magic on top by 2 on NBA Sunday.
NBA Sunday on ABC. Brought to you by Chrysler. The way our vehicles come together is what sets us apart. Chrysler, engineered beautifully. And Jockey. Visit us online or at a Jockey store near you.
Orlando's outscored Boston by 6. The Magic leading by 2 as we begin our NBA Sunday doubleheader on ABC. Some of the items happening around the NBA at the halfway point. What a race it's going to be in the West. 5.5 games from the top to the 9th spot, the first spot out of the playoffs. Garnett and Dwight Howard and LeBron James led the East All-Star voting. Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and Carmelo Anthony doing it out west. And the surprise teams in the first half, you'd be the Portland Trail Blazers, the New Orleans Hornets with the best record in the West, the Lakers after all the tumult of their offseason. Who'd have thought Kobe Bryant would not only still be there, but the Lakers would have their terrific 27-14 mark. And Washington, as Pierce scores, Washington without perennial All-Star Gilbert Arenas on the heels of Orlando in the Southeast Division, 2 games back, and even in the loss column at 23-18. What's been your biggest first half surprise?
Well, I just feel that when you look at the 9th position in the Western Conference, Houston is 24-19. They would be 5th in the East at this time, and they're out of the playoffs as of today.
In a stronger Eastern Conference this year, the West is still showing how it is a deep, deep conference in the NBA. Pierce, the back-to-back hoops. You know, it's fun for so many folks to see Boston come along, but now it also gives you so many more storylines, provided everybody stays healthy when we get to the Eastern playoffs. Detroit's been there, the Eastern Finals 5 consecutive years. Cleveland getting to the NBA Finals last year, and now you have Boston and Orlando, 2 teams surprising in this first half. Hogan's drive was knocked away, and Pierce brings it back for the Celtics in this tie game.
Now, in the Eastern Conference, Mike, you brought up a good point. Cleveland right now is the hottest team. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games.
Foul on Mo Evans.
Yeah, I like what we're seeing here today. Right now, Stan Van Gundy has his ball club. They're doing a much better job in this quarter, eliminating the baskets in the paint. Right now, the Celtics only have 1 field goal in the painted area, and they played almost 7.5 minutes of play. So that's a good adjustment. You like to see that. Plus, they're a little bit more aggressive now. Anytime that the Celtics run a screen and the dribbler comes off the screen, they're trapping hard and making the pass a little bit more difficult.
Keith Bogan checking out. There's actually some question over there as to who the foul was on. Pierce on the drive, able to knock it down. So Pierce has scored 3 in a row. It's funny, the lead of the official stats crew on the other side was trying to get Davy Jones' attention. Nice pick by Howard, knocked Rondo to the deck, and Dooling missed it. Rondo slow to get up, now rejoining the play.
Now, unfortunately for Rondo, he's shaking up a little bit. He collided. That was not a moving pick. That pick was solid at that end of the floor.
Oh, he got the elbow right into the jaw. I was mentioning that on the other side, they were trying to make sure they were clear on fouls. For this simple reason, Miami had a game against Atlanta earlier this year where there was a mistake on the number of fouls on Shaquille O'Neal. He fouled out of the game, but in fact only had 5, and we're going to see the final 51 seconds of that game replayed coming up next time the Heat visit Atlanta. Tony Allen couldn't catch the Rondo bounce pass. It's out of bounds off Boston. Orlando ball.
Now, for a coach, they did everything right except the catch of the ball. You know, Scalabrine got the ball up. Rondo attacks, forces the defense to recover. Unfortunately, Allen fumbles the ball.
John Dooling to Turkoglu to Rashard Lewis. Working Scalabrine. And Kendrick Perkins gets the board.
Yeah, Scalabrine's making the least work right there. They do not need a double team because you can see Lewis is having difficulty shooting up over the top of Scalabrine.
Playing his 3rd year with the Celtics, spent 4 years with New Jersey. Part of those good net teams that made a couple of straight Eastern Conference Finals appearances. Pierce draws the contact, and we'll get the free throws. Turkoglu said, I didn't move anywhere. Well, Orlando made a little push a couple of moments ago in that last time. Now here's what Doc Rivers told his team about Orlando's push.
What we can't ever do is get frustrated, all right? They're at home, they're gonna make some runs. We just gotta keep balling, keep playing, And we got to keep trusting each other. All right? Keep trusting.
Because the Celtics have played every game with Kevin Garnett, and obviously it hurts you on the defensive end, hurts you on the offensive end, but also hurts you in the leadership end because Kevin Garnett, every possession is maxing out his teammates.
Also, you put Kevin Garnett in the pivot, whether you start him in the post or you bring him to the strong side. When the ball goes in, you must double team Kevin Garnett. He's going to give you a shade under 20 a game. He's going to shoot a high percentage. And then also you can't foul him because he's a decent foul shooter. Now, if you double team, now all your cutters are open, and that opens up your three-point game.
You see Pierce with the self 8-point run. He has 16 on the day and leads the Celtics in scoring at 20 per, but he's getting more shots today due to the absence of Garnett with the abdominal strain. Turkoglu across the lane, slammed back by Howard.
That's okay. They're doing a good job in that category. They're holding Orlando down, especially Howard on the offensive board. What I like is Paul Pierce is really working hard on Turkoglu, not allowing him to get a catch out on the wing, forcing Turkoglu to change sides of the floor.
That was the first dunk for Howard, who easily leads the league in dunks. Evans knocked it away. Turkoglu gets it back to Mo.
Evans has good hands, Mike. He's good on the deflection.
All tied at 38 with 2.5 until the half.
I like Doc Rivers' instruction to his team. Just don't rush. Just take your time. Because they can get that every single time. And if they do play him off the dribble, Mike, they give him that 10 to 12-foot jump shot in the paint.
Some of the special moves of a league all-star many years in Paul Pierce. Dwight Howard approaching a double-double in the first half, 10 points and 9 rebounds with that putback. Paul Pierce, a sweet move to split the defense. He'll come to the line and try to complete a three-point play in a tie game. Back in Orlando with a reminder, it's the season premiere everyone's been waiting for. Thursday, January 31st, 2-hour premiere event starting at 8/7 Central. This season, some will leave the island, some will not. Time to find yourself lost. We're all looking forward to that returning on ABC coming up on Thursday night. A reminder, the T-Mobile halftime show is coming up. We'll have Stuart Scott, Bill Walton, and Michael Wilbon talking about the rebirth of the great Celtic franchise, and Ray Allen will join us for our Fave 5 coming up on the T-Mobile halftime show. First time this year that Doc Rivers has sent his Celtics out without the man who, Hubie, would you say the MVP of the first half of this NBA season, Kevin Garnett, who against his old Minnesota team on Friday injured his abdominal muscle but came back to make the key defensive plays late. He so desperately wanted to play against his old team for the first time in the regular season. Did that as Boston won the game by 1.
Well, Kevin Garnett, we know that 20 points, he's a shade under 20, and he's a shade under 10 rebounds. But the key with him is the shot blocking and the rotation. He's constantly talking in the back of the defense, and it's helped out players who were just average defensive players become much better. And then when you add Rajon Rondo out there and Perkins, these two guys are excellent defenders for their position.
A little more attention to defense here by Boston this trip. It's 7 to shoot. Nothing going on for Keon Dooling, who's working the point. But worked Rondo. Got inside. Perkins made him change the shot and headed the board.
Yeah, Perkins was late. Perkins was late. They got a break there because that ball should have been down.
Ray Allen misfires on the three. The Celtics row of 7 behind the three tape here this afternoon. Orlando's a chance to get back in it. Well, Hubie, Paul Pierce, we talked about, as you said right away. Hey, he's comfortable taking more shots.
Absolutely.
He averages 15 a game this year. He's already taken 11 in the first half.
Right, but he knows that he can get to the basket. See, Turkoglu can't play him, either can Lewis, and they do not have anyone on the bench who can come in and stop him from getting to where he wants to go. Big thing right now for the Celtics. Ray Allen is struggling a little bit. He's 2 for 8, but you know the shots are there.
Dooling saw big guys, pitched it to Bogans at the back end of the clock. Pierce a rebound. 19 points, 6 rebounds for Paul Pierce here in the first half. Beautiful bounce to Perkins, and that's where Kendrick Perkins has done his damage on Monday against the Knicks and on Friday against the Timberwolves, working that baseline after penetration.
All right, now, Powell and Perkins together at that position, they already have 12 points. And they haven't done one thing with a dribble. Everything is just movement, catch the ball, put the ball in the basket.
Dooling got bumped, got the bucket, and a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, anytime that you pick up dueling, you know that his first thought is to get to the rim. He's a person who's going to drive. He's a scorer first.
Dueling coming to the line. You saw Stan Van Gundy there. A lot of education, a lot of moment by moment with Dwight Howard. He's an all-star starter, but he has a ton more to learn and experience. It's only his 4th year in the league. What did Stan Van Gundy tell us Friday in Detroit? He said, hey, remember, at this point in his development, his career, Tim Duncan was a senior at Wake Forest. So the guy's doing a lot, but there's plenty of time for him to continue to grow. Bogans defending Allen. Dueling came over to help.
Yeah, I like Bogans and Evans have given him a lot more physical play here defensively.
Perkins from outside where he normally does his work. Howard the rebound. It's a double-double for Dwight Howard already in the first half. 10 points, 10 boards, and a couple of blocks.
You have to understand that Perkins has 2 fouls, so you must understand you've got to look for Howard down inside any time that you do not have a clear path.
Bogans took it right inside, made the hoop. And our game tied at 43 with the shot clock off, heading toward halftime. In the hands of the second-year point guard out of Kentucky, Rajon Rondo. Contact with Dueling. Throws the foul, and a chance for the three-point play.
Yeah, Paul Pierce thought that Rondo waited a little bit too long that time. And now, it was fine if you knew that you were going to take it all the way to the rim. But if there was going to be penetration down and kick back, he was worried that he might not be able to make a catching shot.
A story on ESPN.com and a couple other places that Damon Stoudemire, point guard of the Memphis roster, will have his contract bought out. And a lot of people talking about the suitors, Phoenix, Toronto, teams that need a point guard. Well, Danny Ainge and the Celtics will certainly be interested parties to see if Stoudemire shakes free. They have a veteran on this team, but Rondo has answered the call through the first half of the season. 1.9 for the Magic. Bogans will just fling it. A little wide right. And that brings us to the end of a pretty good first half. Without Garnett, Pierce scores 19. Ray Allen struggling 2 of 8 from the field. Dwight Howard a double-double. 3 other players with 8. That's how we've arrived at halftime. Rebirth of the Celts, Ray Allen's fave 5. The topics on the T-Mobile halftime report with Stuart Scott, Bill Walton, and Michael Wilbon just moments away. At the break from Central Florida, the team with the best record in the NBA, the Boston Celtics, lead Orlando by 3. NBA Sunday available on ABC HD, presented by Olivia. We welcome you back to Central Florida and Orlando for the second half. The Celtics leading by 3, and Orlando the first stop of our ABC ESPN RV Destination NBA. It'll be traveling all around the country. We were inside there before, some great stuff. You've seen the commercials promoting our coverage. It'll be making the stops as we start our Destination ABC Sunday broadcast. The RV will be up in Detroit for Dallas, Detroit next week. Mike Tirico and Hubie Brown with you. But I love your speaking part in the commercial you did with Chris Bosh where you don't say anything. Now you can say something.
No checks in the mail.
Right. Say something about the first half. What'd you see out there the first 24?
Well, I like the fact that naturally Pierce had a great half, but the center position came in with 12 points, 11 rebounds. Very quietly.
Let's go back to Paul Pierce, who picked up the shooting load in the absence of Kevin Garnett.
Well, you know that he's going to get the shots. The spin move, unstoppable. It doesn't matter who picks him up. Then the upper body strength on the drive. You cannot foul him because he's an 80-plus foul shooter. You just like how he takes his time. He gets down in, he reads the defense, and then he wants the physical contact. He's leading by example. You can see the 8 for 11. The 6 rebounds are there. And then also Allen is struggling, but that center position has picked up the slack. At the other end of the floor, Lewis and Turkoglu are struggling a little bit, and then Howard only has 7 shot attempts, but we realize that he sat out 6 minutes.
As we start the third quarter, here's Lisa Salters.
Well, Mike, I asked Stan Van Gundy what he wanted to see more of from his team, and he said for a stretch there we played well. We were rebounding, getting loose balls, but we've got to do better with the ball movement because the Celtics are doing a really good job of getting to the weak side. And then I asked him, are are you pleased with the energy level from your team? And without even looking at me, he said no.
Yeah, at least Rajon Rondo with the hoop there, but immediately went down, shaken up. And Ray Allen gives the foul as Scalabrine, Pierce, and Ray Allen come to check on Rondo. Rajon's hustle helping to get that hoop after the Paul Pierce missed shot, and he went down immediately.
Well, he's had a difficult half in the first half because he's run into a few back screens, and then you can see right here.
The right ankle.
Yeah, definitely, and this is a major loss because he can control the tempo of the game for you in your half-court sets to relieve the pressure off of Paul Pierce, who is then your other distributor. But right now, that puts pressure on the bench for someone to come in here and step up and give them some leadership.
It'll help Rondo off. Timeout, Boston.
NBA Sunday on ABC, brought to you by Toyota, moving forward, and Taco Bell, think outside the bun.
Okay, back in Orlando, it's Boston leading by 5. Rajon Rondo was helped to the Celtics locker room, putting weight on his ankle, if in fact it was the turn of that right ankle in the bump in contact with Maurice Evans. Lisa Salters checking on Rondo, so we'll get an update from Lisa momentarily. As you saw Rondo walking back with Eddie Lacerte, longtime athletic trainer for the Celtics. And as Turkoglu inbounds for Orlando, Lisa has an update.
Well, Mike, I'm back here at the locker room waiting for Rajon Rondo to come out, but the word from the Magic, or from the Celtics, is slightly sprained right ankle. He's getting it retaped right now, and he's expected to be back out on the court.
Okay, Lisa, Eddie House in, replacing Rondo. 5 to shoot. Maurice Evans couldn't catch it. Right in front of the Celtics bench. They say it was out of bounds. In any case, Boston gets it and comes back the other way.
We have numbers here.
Scalabrine runs the floor and finds Eddie House for 3. And the rebound for Dwight Howard, the leader in the NBA, with his 11th rebound of the afternoon.
Yeah, I would like to have seen Scalabrine that time try to finish. And if he did get fouled, okay, he had a potential three-point play. By going to the corner, I know Eddie House will attempt 4 threes a game, and he's a good three-point shooter for you. But the key is, when you got to lay it, you've got to score.
Pierce gives the foul on Howard, and Dwight will come to the line. In addition to being an all-star starter, Hubie, Dwight Howard is going to be in the slam dunk competition. And it's rare. It's been about 5 or 6 years since we've seen a player who started in the all-star game also compete in the dunk competition. We talk about the dunk competition and the style and the fun. There's a very practical application of the dunk in-game, and nobody has more in the NBA than Dwight Howard.
Well, right now he leads the league with 152 dunks. There you have the contestants.
Gerald Green, who won last year when he was with the Celtics, now the Timberwolves, part of the Garnett trade. Howard, Rudy Gay of Memphis, and Jamario Moon, a player who has burst onto the scene with Toronto this year. Those are the 4 participants. Well, Dwight Howard can shoot free throws like this every night. He'll get 4 more points a game. He's made all 4 of his free throws, 60% shooter. Ray Allen, 2 of 8 in the first half, is off the mark, both defended by Maurice Evans.
Yeah, I tell you, Evans and Bogans have done a nice job getting up and challenging him all day. He has not had a lot of open looks at that rim.
Howard moved to the basket. Perkins was right there. And Allen brings it for Boston.
Now Perkins, you see, he's bodying Howard up. He's bodying up. He's not allowing him to turn the corner to get to the dunk.
Pierce had it knocked away, kept it alive. Misfires, and Arroyo with the rebound. Arroyo from Puerto Rico, Turkoglu from Turkey. Allen from Texas, straight out of high school. Turkoglu stripped, but a foul is called. Fouls on Ray Allen. Lisa, remember Dwight Howard from the dunk contest last year brought some stickers for props.
That's right, Mike. I was just talking to him before the game. He said he's a little bitter and really is looking forward to competing this year. Remember the sticker dunk that he did last year?
Yeah.
He said he's a little bitter that he didn't score higher with that dunk. He got an alley-oop pass from Jameer Nelson and then soared 12 feet up in the air, slapped this up on the backboard, and even with that spectacularly creative dunk, did not make it to the next round. And I told him I really don't think that the judges even saw the sticker up there. He said, I don't care. This year I have something really, really creative in mind. But Mike, no matter how hard I tried, he wouldn't give it up.
The same thing. We were trying to work Dwight for that on Friday. And I think if he would have told everybody about the sticker beforehand and then did it, I don't think the people in the house recognized what he was doing that night in Las Vegas. He's talking about perhaps Scalabrini drives and gets fouled. He's talking about perhaps kissing the rim. He's been working on that, kissing the rim, then dunking. That is one from today. He has 153 now on the year.
Well, that's when you look at it, we realize that it's all sheer upper body strength, and he gets in there and he just overpowers you. Or the defensive players say, hey, I'm going to take you down, take you to the foul line, and force you to make it. That's why we said earlier he leads the league with 11.9 foul shot attempts. Unfortunately, he's struggling at the line. He's almost at 60, 59.8.
First point for Scalabrini. He's played 19 minutes. You've seen a lot of the big guys through the history of the league. How good in 4 years has Dwight Howard been? How good can he be?
Well, look, the numbers, they stand up for what they are. Okay, when you just say, hey, he's over 20, all right, and then he's over 15. He has a chance at that 15 rebound, and then he's a shy, like a 100th of a percentage, under 60% from the field. Now, all of that is fantastic, and we know that it all happens in the paint because he scores very few points night in and night out outside the painted area.
Brian Cook is checked in for Orlando. Nice pass by Howard to Carlos Arroyo. Now look at Howard, read it, rebound it, and put it back in.
That's what they need him to do. They need him to be more alive on the offensive glass tonight. And the other thing is he must move more without the basketball. If they double team him and he throws the ball out wherever he is, Mike, he's got to repost because he is tough to cover when he posts you up in the paint.
Ray Allen short on that jumper. Ray Allen has a career low field goal percentage this year, and his three-point percentage is as low as it's been in 8 years.
Well, I think that's all because of the lift. That's a good shot right there. We know that Evans and Bogans can come in here at that position, the two-guard position for Orlando, and hurt you if you do not pay attention. But Ray Allen, it's definitely within the lift. And you know tonight, everything is short tonight.
Here is House. He's the Pierce screen to misfire. Rajon Rondo back at the scorer's table, and he's going to check in next dead ball. Arroyo on the blow-by of House.
See, that can't help him. Now, Eddie House is all upset. He's mad at Ray Allen that Ray Allen did not come off his man in the corner to help him in that situation. Now, House gives you a different type of point guard than Rondo. Rondo's a defender, penetrator. House is a three-point shooter.
11-1, Orlando run. Well, after Rondo was hurt before and Orlando went on this run, Stan Van Gundy implored his team. This is a good time to get it going.
That's how they're going to play. They are going to come at you and come after the ball every possession. We have to be up to that every time. There cannot be any relaxing.
And the team has come with that energy, has that 11-1 run.
Yeah, the big thing right now is, it's so packed right now. They're in a battle to hold on to the spot. With Toronto and Washington and Cleveland, we all know that they're right there.
Brian Cook with a three. It's a 14-1 Orlando run, and they're on their feet here in the Amway Arena. The Magic lead by 8, their largest edge of the afternoon.
There's so much pressure with the Boston Celtics right now for Pierce to be the main guy and continue to score.
Rondo right back on that ankle. It's working okay.
Well, look, I'm happy that he's back, and we all know every Boston Celtic fan is. The key is how easily he can blow by Arroyo or any other point guard that's playing.
Orlando, a good offensive team this year, averaging 103 points per game, 6th in the league. This one of the stretches why. Look at defense up top with Pierce and Rondo, and the foul is called on Boston.
Rondo, Mike, has quick hands. He's really quick, and if you fall asleep with your dribble, he's going to get a deflection. And that's what I like about him. He fights you. Now, even with the ankle smarting right now, he was going to level Arroyo off on that dribble.
Learning process. Went to high school in Louisville, Kentucky, 1 year at Oak Hill Academy. And Rajon telling us last night the pressure. Well, by the fake, but the block by Howard. his third of the afternoon.
Well, you could see he had the layup, but maybe he didn't feel that he could get up on the lift.
Cook, former Laker, came over in a trade November 30th, missed it. Back comes Pierce with a lot of Orlando white shirts back. Allen steps in, and Ray gets 2.
All right, now that's Ray Allen's first field goal outside of a dunk. Now he's 1 for 9 outside of 2 dunks. Now they need him to get going. It will relieve the pressure off of Pierce. But right now, you look at this group out on the floor. They have Posey back in there. So if they can start getting back into the paint like quarter 1, now that will open up because you got another 3-point shooter in there, Posey.
James Posey came in for Scalabrine. Ray Allen with the foul. Here's what happened last time out in the Boston huddle with Doc Rivers.
You got to stay together. We're going to win this game, and it's going to be a tough game, all right? It's going to be a tough basketball game.
Getting even tougher when one of your big starters, Kevin Garnett, out with the abdominal strain, and Ray Allen, the other one of the big 3, just picked up personal foul number 4. So Ray Allen with 4, he's to the bench. Tony Allen checked in. Cook missed it, got it back as 2 Celtics hit the deck going for the rebound.
Right now they need all 5 guys to get back in, mainly because they're not very tall out there. Now Posey is your second biggest guy, so you know that Posey and then Perkins, and then we need Pierce to continue to help out doing everything at both ends.
Pierce feeling it. This is shades of the game that we saw from Pierce the last couple of years, and he was the only significant offensive weapon for the Celtics. Look at through. That's his game. Brian Cook, 6'9" out of Louisville. Played with the Lakers, started 24 games last year. And part of that trade for Trevor Ariza at the end of the first month of the season.
Mike, when he comes in the game, you're the defender, you know he's a 3-point shooter.
Oh, Howard is 4th block. Evans knocked it away. 6 to shoot for the Seeds.
We got plenty of time here.
Pierce in. Howard changed the shot. Got the rebound. And Carlos Arroyo will direct the traffic. Cook again. Got it again. Brian Cook. 3 threes. 11 points.
Mike, in this league, there are certain people, when they come in the game, you know that's what they do.
Yes.
They get behind the line, and anytime, your responsibility is to close that guy out and force him to dribble a basketball.
Rondo off the mark. What a quarter here for the Magic. Up 12. Cook has scored 11 points in 3.5 minutes of action.
Well, right now, the Celtics, it's too much one-on-one.
Turkoglu on the take. Got fouled in the act of shooting, and Hubie, this team that has worked on defense has the great eraser to start things.
Now, this is just an excellent rotation by Howard coming on the block. And at the other end of the floor, naturally, the shooting Cook coming in here, really giving him a shot in the arm, mainly because of 0 minutes in that first half. He comes in, you know it, get out on top of him, force the dribble a ball.
Turkoglu comes to the line. Hito is 6'10". Rashard Lewis is 6'10". Brian Cook is 6'9". But as I asked you about the Magic in the second half of the season, even though you have those big guys in your lineup, they play as a small team sometimes. And maybe the thing they're going to have to overcome in the second half.
Yeah, but they're not physical people. Right. They're not post-up people either. And then with the offense that they run here, Howard controls both sides of the lane in the post-up area. So anytime that you had a mismatch with Lewis, if any guard, there's no place for him to go. So that is a major part of his game when he averaged over 20 a game when he played for Seattle, was posting up.
Pierce taken inside by Turkoglu, but Howard there to deter the easy hoop. Rondo missed it. Orlando trying to get numbers, but the Celtics get back.
Right now you have to look at Paul Pierce's game because Paul Pierce has struggled here on his last 3 attempts to get to the rim.
Howard and a foul.
And I'm concerned because Pierce right now is struggling. I don't know whether it's a fatigue factor or what, but he does not have the elevation that he had. Now that was a dangerous play right there, mainly because the pass was not on the money and Howard had his back to the basket on the catch.
Leon Poe called for the foul. The Celtics are over the limit here in the quarter. And Dwight Howard, who has those 40 double-doubles in 46 games. The faint MVP chant here at the Amway Arena. They started this the last Magic home game against Detroit on Monday, and before that against Portland. Kevin Garnett would be the first half MVP for most folks, but the numbers have been great.
Mike, look, he's first in the league in rebounding. He was fourth in field goal percentage, fourth in blocks. Now, the scoring, he's a shade under the top 10. But if he would get that up there by making his foul shots, he could be in the top 10 in those four categories.
He could. I don't think the MVP vote based on the fans chanting MVP.
No.
Because every arena does it. You know, I mean, Gerald Wallace got MVP chants in Charlotte at one point last year. It's the way you treat your best player these days. Posey knocks down a three, and down south, Miami struggled, as you know. They just snapped their long losing streak yesterday by beating Indiana. That's one of the pieces they missed, the outside shooting of James Posey, part of the title team 2 years ago.
Yeah, when you walk away, Capono, and then Eddie Jones, and then also Posey, and then you have nothing in return for those people, that's a major loss.
Arroyo was out of control. It's an offensive foul to go the other way. That three by Posey.
You know, a lot of nights, Mike, you might not get that call, and then you get the corner shot.
Hey, you talk about Dwight Howard. Compare him to Kevin Garnett. Same age through 3 seasons and 45 games. Points, higher field goal percentage, more boards. The blocks, very similar. And both coming straight out of high school, as Tony Allen got hit, I believe, in the face as that ball was deflected away from him and out of bounds.
Now, when you look at Kevin Garnett, and we know 9 straight years now, he's averaged 20-10. We know every year there's only 4 or 5 people who can get those kind of numbers. Now, right now, he might do it again. He needs to improve the points and also the rebounding a fraction. But that is there. Now, the Howard situation, we know, different type of player. A strong, overpowering post-up guy. When you say Kevin Garnett to me, is a guy who can guard any one of 5 positions with the game on the line in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game.
And boy, did he show it in the victory over his old team, Minnesota, on Friday. 2 to shoot for Pierce. Turkoglu with the block, and it'll be a shot clock violation. Orlando ball out of this timeout, and what a great 9-minute stretch from the Magic to start this third quarter. Orlando has outscored Boston by 16 here in the third. Turkoglu's defense forcing the turnover.
I'm Vanessa Williams from Ugly Betty. Thanks for watching ABC.
Home of the NBA Finals.
The Orlando Magic care about the Central Florida community today. The Magic awarding over $600,000 in grants on behalf of the Orlando Magic Youth Foundation. Over 26 agencies from Central Florida on hand. Met Magic COO Alex Martins, Bob Vanderweed, also in charge of the Magic in the front office. They honored at halftime for their continued great work in the community. The NBA, where caring happens. The Orlando Magic Youth Foundation has given millions over the years to some of the groups in this area. The Magic very much a part, very strong part of the community, and will continue to expand that growth with a new arena that will be opening, part of a big civic project with an art center and a remodeling of the football stadium, the Citrus Bowl, all part of downtown Orlando, set to open in 2010. Turkoglu, count it, and a chance for a 3-point play. It's a 15-point lead. I mentioned the arena. There it is. On the books for opening in 2010. Play arena football in there. There's going to be a great performing arts center. It's a big part of a total community project for the facilities in this area. Right off of I-4, the new stadium, new arena will be in downtown. The Magic donated $158 million to that project. When you look around the league and really all professional sports, it's a very significant contribution, about as big as you'll find from one franchise to build a facility, in addition help out the Performing Arts Center. So new days and good days ahead for the Magic. Posey knocks down the 3 and cuts into the Orlando lead.
Now right now that was well needed, because the Celtics, an excellent 3-point shooting team, the 7th in the league, are only 2 for 12 today. Now that's been there for them. It isn't like they're struggling to get a good look from a 3-point area.
Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter. The leaders in the Southeast. This is going to be a travel on Turkoglu, who is trying to use offensive foul. Offensive foul's correct.
Yeah, that's easy call. Very easy call. As Turkoglu makes his move, dribbling with his left hand, the forearm went out and caught Pierce. Now Pierce has got to get on track. He's 0 for 5 in this quarter, and when Orlando went off that 26-10 run, Pierce, you could see, was struggling.
Well, nice job with an offensive boost from Posey, who, as you mentioned in the first half, Coach, missed the last 3 games with a finger injury. Back to 11.
He just needs to get his timing back, Mike, because he's an excellent defender, and he can rebound for you, whether he plays the 3 or the 4 position.
Reacts to Cook outside the line. He comes in. This is the 2, and here's Pierce the board.
Now you say, well, he got a good look. That's right, but you did not allow him to take that 3-point shot. You always challenge and make him dribble the ball.
As they collapse on Pierce, the rotation to Rondo gets it right back to Paul, and Howard fouls him.
Now, if you think of the first quarter, when the Celtics looked, the offensive flow was beautiful. Paul Pierce and Rondo were coming from the top of the circle, down into the lane, off the dribble, making things happen. We were seeing this. Now, if Pierce did not get fouled or Rondo did not get fouled, they made the extra pass, and that's where Perkins and Poe came in to give you that 12 points. Now, in the second half, center position, 0.
One more free throw coming for Paul Pierce. We have the opportunity at NBAstore.com to get geared up for the All-Star weekend. You can head over to NBA.com, choose from the best selection of All-Star jerseys, hats, tees, and more. It's exclusively at NBAstore.com. Prepare for Pierce. His 21 leads all scorers. Orlando's led by Howard, who's on the bench with 16 points and 14 boards. This is game 1 of our NBA Sunday doubleheader on ABC. LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers have won 8 of the last 10. They're in Los Angeles to take on Kobe and the Lakers. That's coming up next on ABC. And don't forget Denver at Dallas on ESPN, 6:30 Eastern Time. Turkoglu splashes down a 3. It's been a great 3-point shooting quarter for the Magic, and that hoop stops a 7-0 run.
Now, Mike, that was a difficult shot taken from a difficult angle off the dribble.
Rondo couldn't hit. Leon Poe out of Cal back in, misses.
Yeah, in a situation like that, if you can just get the rebound, regroup, and then use a power dribble, I think he would have had a better angle to bank the ball in.
Evans stepped on the sideline before driving baseline. It'll be Boston ball. We mentioned our next game here on ABC. There is another one of the East All-Star starters. You like, Hubie, that's very much the way you arrive at games. The big sunglasses. Nice look for you. LeBron and the Cavs coming up next. He's had a terrific season for Cleveland again.
What a year. Yeah, you're floating with the 30-point average, the rebounding, the assists, and the steals. I mean, he's giving you the full package.
See, LeBron and Kobe, two guys who carry their teams, coming up next here on ABC. Rondo, nice dish to Poe.
Hello. I think we were just talking about that.
Yes.
From the top of the circle down, it's there for them, whether it's Pierce or Rondo, and it forces the defenders to come off the center, and it gives them a nice, easy passing lane.
Shot clock off, out of bounds off Boston. 3 seconds to shoot. For Brian Cook, Carlos Arroyo, Donald Foyle, Maurice Evans, and Hedo Turkoglu, who's going to pop out here and be a guy who can catch it and shoot it, as opposed to Mo Evans. And Boston subs Brian Scalabrine in for Paul Pierce.
Yeah, it is a defensive assignment. Scalabrine's picking up Cook, and they're moving Posey out on Turkoglu.
Comes Turkoglu trying to get free. He can't. Cook. Backcourt violation with 1.4. Not only do the Celtics get it, but they get it in the front court. Paul Pierce, well, Ray Allen's going to sneak right back in
now.
here. Yeah.
Mike, come on. I mean, you can make a catch and take a dribble here. So what you do not want to do is pass the ball back. What you want to do is get that ball up to a guy moving. Good catch, one dribble, you get off a decent shot.
So you wonder, why do you make these subs? 3 seconds left. What's going to happen? Boom. You could have a 4 or 5 point swing. They didn't get one. You might get one. Bogans comes in for Orlando, as did Rashard Lewis. Everybody gets their matchups straightened out. Doc Rivers exchanging Tony and Ray Allen in the corners.
Stan Van Gundy working very hard from the bench over there. He's trying to match up here. All teams have a play in this type of a situation.
And Orlando gets a delay of game warning. Next one will be a technical foul. It'll be Rondo, and got the 2 dribbles in there.
All right.
And almost made it. Pretty good. We'll hear from Stan Van Gundy on the other side of the break. Off we'll go to the 4th quarter in Orlando on NBA Sunday. First for our doubleheader, it is the Magic leading by 10. This presentation of NBA Sunday continues after this message and a word from your ABC station. This is ABC Sports, home of the NBA Finals. Mike Tirico, Hubie Brown, Lisa Salters with you in Orlando. The Magic, the leaders in the Southeast Division of the NBA, trying to get back to 10 games over 500 and beat the Boston Celtics for the 2nd time this year. They outscored the Celtics by 13 in that 3rd quarter and doing it behind the triple tape, knocking down 5 3-pointers, 3 of them coming from Brian Cook, who came in off the bench and performed very well. Meantime, Boston, without Kevin Garnett with the abdominal strain, needing to get more out of Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, and Allen has struggled throughout. Pierce struggling in that 3rd quarter.
Pierce right now. We know that Pierce, went 0 for 5 in that quarter before he got fouled and went to the line, made 2. Now Ray Allen is struggling. We know that. So he needs to get going, meaning Ray Allen. At the end of the quarter, he's 3 for 11. But Paul Pierce is the leader of this team. And he's the guy that not only will score for you, foul line down, but he will also, when he comes back into this game, he'll get you to the foul line.
And again, those of you who are just joining us, as Orlando starts the quarter with that turnover and foul, Garnett, when we talked to him last night, had intended on playing after injuring that abdominal muscle Friday in Boston. James Posey has been very good coming out of the gate here in this 2nd half. Posey knocks down his 3rd 3, gets it back to a 7-point game. Garnett came to the arena today. They really kind of talked him out of playing with that abdominal strain. They want to be very careful, not let it be a lingering thing. And Kevin was not pleased about not playing. Still has not come out of the locker room watching this one from back there. Keon Dooling responds with a triple of his own.
That's something that you would not expect to have happen. Your rotations were perfect, and then when that ball was rotated, Dooling only takes 1 3 a game.
Yeah.
But remember we told you, Orlando, 2nd in the league, 25 threes a game they attempt.
Tony Allen's drive, the foul is drawn on Allen by Dooling, who's in his 13th 3 of the season a moment ago.
Well, when Foyle is in there, you have to realize that you have another shot blocker. And then he's a type of a player that has stayed in this league a long time by rebounding, shot blocking, taking charges, and covering that lane. So you have to be heady about who's down in there.
Foyle moving here after his decade-plus at Golden State. Tony Allen took a shot in the eye as Maurice Evans rose up to make that shot. Got right back in the play. That's kept alive with a fresh shot clock for the Magic. It is Dooling, Rashard Lewis, Foyle, Maurice Evans, and Keith Bogans. And Boston has Rondo and Ray Allen in the backcourt with Posey, Tony Allen, and Leon Poe up front. Posey, as we said, a little rusty early on. That one rust in good defense from the big guy, Foyle, in front of the rim.
Yeah, in this 2nd half, when it gets one-on-one, with not your primary guys, you have to look at that and say, hey, come on, we got to regroup here right now. You're doing this with 15 and 16 seconds on the shot clock.
Rondo getting beat up. Dooling hits him there, and the foul was called. 3 now. There's the eye that Tony Allen took from Maurice Evans. And Rondo's going to come to the line. Hubie, we mentioned O'Donnell Foyle a second ago, who's in there and came over from Golden State. Finally made the playoffs last year after a long career and many opportunities to try to make the playoffs unsuccessful. Foyle was born in St. Vincent the Grenadines, Iowa, and came over to Colgate on a student visa. The late Jack Bruin, very nice man who coached at Colgate. O'Donnell was taken in by a family there who became guardians for him. We saw his prowess in college at Colgate in his 3 years there. But O'Donnell last year in March became a U.S. citizen. He and 1,100 other people in San Francisco received their U.S. citizenship. And if you've been watching ABC News and all the news programs. You know that Florida has a very significant primary coming up. Well, Donald Foyle, as a U.S. citizen, will get the opportunity for the first time in his life to vote in the primary election coming up here. And he's so excited about it. He's very active politically. He's tipped out of bounds by Posey. Matter of fact, he is part of a group called Democracy Matters. It's a nonprofit political organization. They're grassroots and campaign finance reform. He's done dinners and fundraisers and using that platform. Very active, very intelligent, so nice around young players, young kids. When you come to a game, he's one of the good people of the NBA.
Well, in the return, when they played at Golden State, standing ovation by the people.
Yes.
And you know that they appreciated what he did, not only as a player, but within that community.
Absolutely. Turkoglu missed the three. And the rebound taken by Posey. 8-point game, 9.5 to go.
Mike, from now to the end, the Celtics have got to do a strong job on the defensive wall.
Ray Allen brings the Boston faithful to their feet. It's a 5-point game as Allen tries to get heated up in this fourth quarter. He only scored 6 in the first 3.
He's coming on at the right time, Mike. Coming on.
So Ray Allen, one of the sweet shooters in the NBA, knocks down that 3. After a struggle in the first 3 quarters where he missed 8 field goals in all 4 of his threes. Back to a 5-point game. Game 1 of our doubleheader, another All-Star. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers against Cleveland in Game 2 after we're done.
What's good? I'm Stuart Scott with the Sports Center right now, sponsored by Chase. Coming up after the Celtics and Magic on ABC, the top 2 scorers in the NBA go head-to-head. It's LeBron at Kobe as the Cavs visit the Lakers. And in snowy New England, Tom Brady, without the protective boot, joined teammates at a rally before leaving for Super Bowl 42 in Phoenix. Brady is expected to be ready for the game a week from today. Now let's go back to Mike Tirico and Hubie Brown in Orlando, guys.
Thank you, Stuart. We look forward to a week of covering a man walking. That'll be the story all week in Phoenix as we head out for the Super Bowl. All the coverage on ESPN and the family of networks, online and on the radio as well. Here Orlando leads it by 5, 78-73. He's 2 of the division leaders in the NBA, the first and third best record in the conference. Boston 34-7. One of those 7 losses handed to the Celtics by Orlando. Dwight Howard has it slapped away by Rondo, taken away by Poe. And the Celtics have a chance to tighten it up.
Rondo is pesty. I mean, he's right there with the steals. He has 4 steals in this game. And then that, if they give him that, a deflection and a steal. 5.
See Leon Poe working on Howard. Dwight stayed on his feet. Turned it over.
Bad turnover. Now, you have to realize who you're playing. Right. Orlando is a team. That was their 16th turnover, and we still have 8:44 on the clock. So it's a ball club that if you pressure them and you jam the people out on the transition game, you have a chance to turn them over, and it's going to help you because you need extra shots right now.
Over their season average of 15, that's right in the middle of the league. Ray Allen hit his last 3. Let's see if Ray can heat up. He has struggled from the field here today. Bogans bumps him. And Orlando already with 3 team fouls, 3.5 into this third quarter. Let's check the records in the NBA. The Boston Celtics at 34-7 have the best mark in the league. Orlando is 9th best record in the league at 27-18. You see the New Orleans Hornets, the top record out west at 31-12. Down there at 7, it's the Lakers who are coming up next. How about New Orleans? 31-12. Pierce got it, got a foul and a chance for a 3-point play, and the Celtics cutting into this 16-point deficit.
Now, Paul Pierce needed that. The Celtics needed that. They needed their horse to get it going here right now because that was his first field goal since the first half.
Yes.
And big thing, I like the fact that Doc rested him at that time period. Now he's coming in, and he should feel strong as we go to the wire here.
I mean, these guys have taken so many shots in their career, Allen and Pierce. If you go through a season like this where you're not taking 15, 17 shots a game, is it hard that one day you come out and you've got to take more of the load?
No. It's in their blood. I mean, these guys are born scorers, and we know that Pierce can get a shot off. He knows that he can get a shot off almost any time in the course of the game.
It's going to go the other way. Offensive foul drawn by Leon Poe, whose additional minutes have turned into very strong play. And Celtic fans have seen this the last couple of weeks. Poe has been very good off the bench. 4 fouls on Lewis.
Well, he's willing to sacrifice his body. See, he's outside the defensive circle, and he's there. Now, he had an excellent first half. not only with the points, but in the rebounding and then helping on the rotation.
Ray Allen gives Boston the lead with a 3.
Now, that is their 5th in a row. They started 0 for 10 in threes. That was their 5th in a row, and they're climbing back.
It is an 11-0 run. The Celtics have erased a 16-point deficit without Kevin Garnett on the road on this NBA Sunday. Lead by 1. And a foul on Pierce. It's the first on the Celtics in the quarter. Orlando's committed 4.
Now keep an eye on Ray. See, right there you're trying to cheat defensively, and you cannot do that when Ray is hot in the 3, and he's feeling it right now. So if you follow him off of that screen, he's going to run out to that spot. You're going to be right there. By shooting the gap, you just made it easy on that catch.
It was 72-56 Orlando. Since then, Boston's outscored them 23-6.
See, Howard is not even a part of it.
Yes,
okay?
right.
And they go away from him, and you forget that he's out on the floor.
What a rebound by Rashard Lewis, who gets fouled by James Posey.
When you have a horse, he can get you 22, and he shoots around 60%. I hope that you would not go 5 to 6 minutes without getting him a pass. So it has to be a call from the bench, or whatever the call is. If he does get the ball and he gets double teamed, when he kicks out, he's got to repost again as he backs you down another 3 to 4 feet.
85% shooter at the line. Lewis makes the first. NBA TV tomorrow. Spurs in Utah. Starts at 9 Eastern. TNT Thursday. You'll see the Celtics home against Dallas and San Antonio at Phoenix. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern. Game start at 8. And on ABC, a week from today, the Dallas Mavericks and Dirk Nowitzki come to Detroit to take on the Pistons. Coverage there begins with Stewart, Bill, the pregame at 2 Eastern time. Cavaliers, Lakers, follow us. Mike Green, Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson, Michelle Tafoya standing by at Staples. Nuggets and Dallas tonight on ESPN. 6:30 Eastern there. Loose ball foul. Leon Poe coming over the back, trying to get that Ray Allen miss.
Yeah, see, Ray's coming off that down screen on the right side of the floor, Mike. Anytime that he comes off, you know that he's going to be close to a good shot. But the defender has been right in his face, whether it's Bogans or whether it was Evans. That's the one he's not making. The one he's making now is when you cheat, okay? You can't cheat when he goes to the 3.
Carlos Arroyo missed the 3. Here's the board. Celtics chance to retake the lead.
They're doing a great job on the defensive board. That's what we question halfway through that 3rd quarter. Can the Celtics defend, take care of that defensive rebound?
Turkoglu guards Pierce. Steps into a 2. This is fired. Poe trying to keep it alive, but Orlando's been on the glass pretty well here today. Lewis is tippy-toed. Howard, rebound, reset. White, rebound, number 15. Go with 16.
Now, see, they like this high pick and roll. Howard will roll right down the middle of the lane.
Turkoglu, kind of like he cleared a path for him for Turkoglu to get the free throw line jumper.
Yeah, because he beat him to the spot.
Yep.
Because if the defender would have challenged him and trapped him, Howard would have gone right down the middle. That's what they ran time and time again Friday night when we did the game in Detroit.
Right. First magic field goal in 5 minutes. Rondo trapped. Posey's got 5. He's got a foul. Lewis and Orlando over the limit, so Boston in the bonus the rest of the way.
Yeah, that was a bad shot attempt by Posey. That was a very difficult end. You can see that the coaching staff's upset. Lewis did not think that he fouled him.
Free throws coming, and coming up after our game. LeBron James, the All-Star, and the Cavs take on L.A.
NBA Sunday on ABC, brought to you by Lincoln, reach higher. And the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Back in Orlando, you know, guys leave the playing days and go to coaching. They get to become friends and see each other along the way. Doc Rivers and Patrick Ewing played against each other, got to know each other over the years, but they share another bond as well. Georgetown daddies. Their sons play for the Georgetown Hoyas, one of the top 10 teams in the country. Jeremiah Rivers is emerging, and off that miss is cleaned up by Patrick Ewing Jr., and of course that team coached by the son of the great Georgetown coach John Thompson. So really a great second-generation set of bloodlines on that top 10 team. There's Patrick Ewing. Hubie, how valuable is it for Orlando to add Patrick to this staff as Dwight Howard develops as a big man?
Well, he does an excellent job before the game working with Howard and at practice. And he has a great patience. Now, today, before the game, they spent a lot of time on the foul shooting, and they're getting results today. He's 6 for 6. And the big cat that I like is they're trying to expand this game so that he'll get that 10 to 12 foot facing the basket jump shot to the side of the paint, because he's so quick off the dribble that he could take you to the rim with an explosive move.
You saw some of the action of those guys working before the game Friday in Detroit. Before the game tonight, it's every night for those guys. Ewing's son had that controversial block at the end of the game last night at Morgantown as Georgetown beat West Virginia. Orlando's lead is 1.
By the way, was Huggy upset or what? What do you think?
Rashard Lewis, baseline jumper, puts him back up 3. Yeah, Bob Huggins. Some filters clicked in very quickly as he was heading up the tunnel to follow the officials. Lewis, poor shooting night from the field, but he has a dozen. It's Rondo and Allen in the backcourt with Pierce, Posey, and Poe. Rondo tried to find Poe. Bogans knocks the table down with the save, and back come the Magic. Turkoglu with 3. Air ball. Lewis saved it to Turkoglu, who kept it on this side.
That's a miraculous recovery. Yes. Miraculous. And I'm kind of shocked at the shot. Because you're up 3, you're inside of 5 minutes. That was kind of a poor percentage shot.
Right over the shorter Rondo. Turkoglu chooses the step back, and Posey back the other way.
Now, at the other end on the previous play, Rondo made a great penetration. Give Howard a lot of credit because he cut him right off.
Here's the dish to Poe, trapped inside. Got another chance.
Yeah, I give him a lot of credit. He was hit about 5 times, okay? He didn't get a call, but he never gave up. He never gave up on the ball.
Dwight Howard had Ray Allen, wanted it, got it done!
Timeout right now. Doc is really upset. He wanted that foul call, and he's absolutely right, 100%. Because what happens in a situation like that, you have a 2-shot foul attempt at that end. You don't get the call. Boom, they get a dunk, and we now go from 3 to 5.
And your big guy, Poe, is down there on the floor getting knocked down, and nobody's there to help out Ray Allen. Poe joins it too late. Howard has 18 points and 6 blocks. Lakers Cavs are next here on ABC, and tonight ABC starts at 7/6 Central with an all-new America's Funniest Home Videos, followed by a special all-new 2-hour Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Then at 10/9 Central, Sunday's great new family drama, Brothers and Sisters. All tonight, starting at 7 Eastern and Pacific, 6 Central, and only here on ABC. Boston's played 41 games, only 7 losses. Here they are to Orlando early in the season, and Cleveland at home to Detroit and Charlotte. Then Washington beat them back-to-back games, and to the Raptors the other night when Toronto had just a shooting night you would not believe. And Doc Rivers made it a film session on defense for the Celtics on Thursday. Orlando trying to beat him twice. Allen airballs 3 out of bounds. Orlando ball.
Mike, that's that same down screen. It's a double on the right-hand side. He continues to make the catch. But he has been to the left of the rim all day today.
And you were pointing out earlier, Ray has missed a game with an ankle sprain and a couple of games with a neck problem. Danny Ainge, in the front office of the Celtics, their executive director of basketball operations, telling me before the game, as this kicked out of bounds, reset the clock to 14. Danny said that neck thing did bother Ray Allen considerably.
Well, at both ends of the floor here right now, you have to understand your strength. The Orlando, you go into Howard, you're going to get double teamed, and good things are going to happen for you. At the other end, the Celtics are playing without a post presence, so consequently everything has to come off the dribble or off of screens with a catch and shoot.
Lewis 3.
Big shot.
Rashard Lewis knocking down his first triple of the day. Orlando saw a 16-point lead go away. Boston was on top, but the Magic have responded. +8.
Now, Orlando, that is their 8th make. All right, that's their 8th three that they made in this game.
Ray Allen back to the line, coming in close. Can't get it. Poe battling for it. Kept alive to Posey.
Big. Great hustle. That Rajon Rondo, I'm telling you, he's got a nose for the dirty work.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he got down inside, got that rebound, and understood that Posey was spotting up out there. Wow, this had to be something. What's that?
Here's Turkoglu, no call.
Well, that's been going on all day. I mean, it's like a cat fight, the two of them.
Now Turkoglu used the shoulder to get a little space to take the jumper, and the lead's back to 7.
One thing you know about Turkoglu, he's not bashful, and he's not going to give up on a shot attempt.
Arroyo trying to draw. Good no call. Posey again. Lewis up over Rondo. Got the rebound. Inside of 2.5 until the Lakers and Cavaliers. And the Magic trying to join Washington, beating Boston twice this year.
Now, right now, the Celtics need a big stop.
Oh, Turkoglu 3. And helped the cause. Rondo the board.
And that's
and
there.
The take. Posey couldn't clean up.
Oh, wait a second.
Dwight Howard got the rebound, tried to swat Rondo away, and got very lucky that he didn't get anything.
He's lucky that there wasn't contact, okay, because that would have caught him. Just watch it as he swings here. Oh, fortunately, Rondo, missed that one. Keep an eye on it, right there. And the referee was standing 3 feet away from him, and he could get a non-call.
They had the foul already on Rondo, but you still have the ability to call another foul.
That's right.
That. He's not learning that from Ewing, is he? That's not what Patrick's been teaching him, right?
I tell you, Rondo is a feisty kid. You love his game because he continues to get better game by game.
We're inside of 2 minutes, so they will not try to purposely foul Dwight Howard. Normally a poor shooter, but 6 of 6 on the line today. That one bounced back off Arroyo. It's off you, Carlos. Boston ball with $1:49 to go.
Now the Celtics need a score. Good timeout by Doc. You got to regroup here now and send the message of where the ball has to go for your high percentage shots.
So we'll see what Boston can put together trying to erase this 7-point deficit. LeBron has taken the floor and Staples, the leading scorer in the NBA. Takes on Kobe and the Lakers next on ABC. Reminder, ABC, your NBA destination for games every Sunday now the rest of the way. On through the playoffs, it'll be Dirk and Dallas taking on Chauncey Billups and the Pistons. 2 Eastern next Sunday here on ABC. Cavs, Lakers follow. You see Dallas and Denver tonight. Hubie without, Dallas Denver's on ESPN, by the way, without Kevin Garnett, that abdominal strain. It's been a different kind of game Boston's had to play because Garnett engineers so much of the offense from inside back to out.
Absolutely, because he's the power guy that commands the double team, and then everything opens up for you. You're not getting that tonight. What I'm concerned about, and I think that when Boston looks at this, Paul Pierce only has 1 field goal in the second half. Plus, in this game, Orlando has 19 points on second shots. When we came on, you asked and you said, what's going to happen with Garnett not being in the lineup? We said, can they take care of the defensive board? Well, they've given up 19 points.
Boston trailed by 16, fought back to take a lead early in the third. Well, the Magic a solid fourth quarter on this end. Let's watch the defense on this trip. Pierce double, Perkins rolls, Arroyo fouls.
Now, see, anytime that you put Paul Pierce in that position and you make that catch, we go back to the first quarter. Something good happens for you. If you don't want to hit the roll guy when they trap, that's cool. All right, if you go with the screen man, then you're allowing Paul Pierce to attack the basket in a one-on-one situation.
Perk's a 58% shooter. All the guys around 58 or 60 are making them like they're Ray Allen here today. One more for Kendrick. Hey, you said Doc Rivers took a good time out. He only has 1 left, but you thought that was an important time to get a really good trip.
No, you needed it, mainly because you needed a field goal, but you wanted to settle them down and say, look, this is the play that we're going to. We're going to include Paul Pierce, and most of all, we're going to get a high percentage shot, foul line down.
Let's see if they foul Dwight Howard here if the ball comes anywhere near him. Can't intentionally foul in the last 2 minutes because it's 1 shot and possession. Howard's made all 6 of his free throws. Involved in pick and roll with Turkoglu. Arroyo with 3 to shoot. Missed it. Pierce cleared out space for Posey. Here come the C's.
You got to come down here now and take a good look.
Allen on the take. Howard couldn't get to it. And Allen makes it a three-point game.
Now you're right back in business, Mike. The defense, since that timeout, the 2 possessions, excellent.
Score, stop, and score. Take a 7-point game to 3 with 1:05 to go.
Now watch here now. You got to watch Howard if he rolls to the basket.
Turkoglu took a lot of steps on the way to the goal and got fouled.
We've had a real fight here with Pierce and Turkoglu. They're really bumping one another at both ends. Keep an eye here. This is Ray Allen attempting. Now, when he said, I'm going to the basket, and I know I'm not having a great shooting night, but my team needs me. And as he goes down in there, now Turkoglu, he's answering at the other end. He wants the ball. And if you notice, from 4 minutes down, he's the major guy here.
Great shooter made the first. When we're done with the captain's meeting, David Jones, Kobe Bryant, Eric Snow out there, Derek Fisher, all set pre-Lakers Cavaliers. Second game of our NBA Sunday ABC doubleheader moments away. 2 for Turkoglu, great shooter, knocked them both down. It's 5.
I do believe about 8 days ago, the Lakers had the best record in the West. You blink in the West and you're in the fourth place.
Garden three-point line. Celtics can use it too. Rondo try to fake Howard. Oh, little scoop on Howard. I love it.
How about that? In your face, he took Howard right up there. Look, this young guy's having a tough time scoring. I mean, shooting the basketball today. But he has 15 points, and he's really made a terrific contribution, along with the assist and the 5 steals.
All right, Boston will try to play good defense and get a stop here. So Arroyo and Howard working together up top.
5 guys on the defensive board.
Oh, Rondo got up and took it away.
6th steal in this game.
23 seconds left. They are down 3. They don't need a 3. They do have a timeout. But Pierce will go at Turkoglu and pitch it for an Allen 3 to tie the game at 93.
Know your players, and that's what Paul Pierce did. He did not have a clear lane, and he didn't think that he might be fouled. He finds Ray Allen, and Ray Allen, we know, all right, that's the 3rd one that Ray has hit here under pressure.
7 in a row for the Celtics. It's good defense, and then it's sweet stuff. Rondo on Howard.
That was great. A great steal and a sensational. Right here is a fantastic steal. Now as you go down the other end, Pierce wanted it, and the kick to the corner. They catch Bogans too far off of Allen.
Doc Rivers love it. Ray giving him 11 in the quarter. All tied at 93. Nice start to the second half of the season for the Celtics, huh?
I would think so. Listen, Rondo is doing a fantastic job. How about 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 6 steals?
And a nice gut check here for Boston without their leader, Kevin Garnett, with the abdominal strain. Right. Down 16, then down 7, coming back twice. And now for Orlando, Hubie, the shot clock is off. They can take the last shot here and try to win the game. This is a Magic team that beat Portland and Detroit here, lost to Detroit. They've had 10 days of tough teams. Real great measuring stick for a team that got off to a great start. A division leader at 27 and 18. Boy, it would be great to get this, and it would hurt to lose this game here today.
Yeah, this is a big game for them, no doubt about it, Mike. And it doesn't matter whether you win by 1 or you win by 20. Key right now, both teams have a 20-second timeout.
And no fouls to give Arroyo, Turkoglu, Howard, Bogans, and Lewis to do it for the Magic.
Yeah, they want Turkoglu.
Fans on their feet here at the Amway Arena, guarded by Pierce.
Too late.
Howard comes. Turkoglu on the deck. Here's Turkoglu for the win. A winner! That's a winner for the Magic. Their 8th defeat of the season. What a terrific game. The Magic lose a big lead twice, allow Boston to score the last 7, and a guy who's such a big deal in Turkey when he was drafted, it was on live TV in his country, hits the game-winning 3 to give the Magic the win.
He was played as well as you could play him. Paul Pierce was right up. The offensive player always has the advantage because he knows when he's going to elevate. But this is a young man who's having a sensational season.
Hito as in hero with Lisa Salters.
And Mike, he's happy that you were showing the replay because he needed to catch his breath. Kiddo, take me through that last play.
Just coach, he had a trust on me, and he wanted to give the ball to me, take the shot, and it was kind of crowded. I had another chance, just right away three, and they go in.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking when the ball left your hand?
Just always, do the smart thing, try to win the game. I was trying to go to the hole, but, they came for help, so I had to take a tough shot, so it was a lucky day for me.
Now, you guys were jumping around here as if you just won the championship. Why was this win so important to this team?
It's still important for us because we're a young club, and we try to get there, like the other teams been there, so playing this kind of game is really going to help our confidence. And throughout the year, if you play like this, I think we're going to reach down there too.
Around here, they call you Mr. Fourth Quarter. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
They have, Alicia. They've relied on his shot. He's having a career season scoring 19 points a game, one shy of his season high with 27, including the buzzer beater. Dwight Howard at 18, 16 boards and 6 blocks. Boston led by Paul Pierce. The Celtics have been defeated 8 times this year, twice by Washington, twice by Orlando, here in Orlando, as Turkoglu gets the winner. Season 34-8, Magic 28-18. Our final score, Orlando beats Boston 96-93. Cavaliers, Lakers with Mike Green, Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson, Michelle Tafoya next. This has been a presentation of ESPN on ABC, the home of the NBA Finals.